Solo Swan model. 1. Inada conditions. The Inada conditions are a set of mathematical assumptions about the aggregate production function that are essential for ensuring the existence of a unique, stable, and economically meaningful long-run equilibrium, the steady state, in neoclassical growth models. They are named after the Japanese economist Kenichi Inada. Intuition and conditions, focusing on capital K, the production function is typically expressed in per effective worker terms as Y equals F, K, where Y is output per effective worker and K is capital per effective worker. The intuition is about the marginal product of capital, MPK, frag, DF, K, DK. Condition. Mathematical expression. Intuitive meaning. 2. Essentiality of input F, O, equals 0. 0 input, capital or labor, results in 0 output. 3. Positive MPK. F, K, greater than 0. Adding more capital always increases output. 4. Diminishing MPK. F, K, less than 0. The benefit, marginal product, of each additional unit of capital declines, the law of diminishing returns. 5. Infinite MPK at 0, lim underscore K to 0, F, K, equals infinity. When an economy has virtually no capital, the first unit added is infinitely productive. It guarantees that the economy will start accumulating capital, i.e., the actual investment curve starts above the break-even investment line. 6. 0 MPK at infinity, lim underscore K to infinity, F, K, equals 0. When an economy has an enormous amount of capital, adding one more unit has a negligible effect on output. It guarantees that capital accumulation will stop, i.e., the actual investment curve eventually falls below the break-even investment line. Deriving the need for Inada conditions. The key equation for capital accumulation per effective worker, dot, K, in the Solo model is, where SF, K, is actual investment, saving, per effective worker, and N plus G plus, delta, K is the break-even investment required to maintain the current K. A steady state, math BF, K caret asterisk, occurs when, dot, K, equals 0, which means, for a unique and stable K caret greater than 0 to exist, the actual investment curve, SF, K, must cross the break-even investment line, N plus G plus, delta, K, exactly once from above, i.e., the slope of SF, K, must be steeper at low K and flatter at high K. Condition 4, lim underscore K to 0, F, K, equals infinity, ensures the slope of SF, K, at K equals 0 is greater than the slope of the break-even line, N plus G plus, delta, guaranteeing they start far apart and will eventually cross. Condition 5, lim underscore K to infinity, F, K, equals O, ensures that the slope of SF, K, eventually becomes less than the break-even line, guaranteeing that the two lines will intersect at a positive and finite K caret asterisk. Condition 3, F, K, less than O, ensures the function SF, K, is concave, guaranteeing that if an intersection occurs, there is only one positive, stable steady state. 2. Knife edge effect. Pinpoint and intuition. The knife edge effect is a term used to describe a model where the conditions required for a stable, long-run equilibrium or balanced growth path are so specific and restrictive that any slight deviation in parameters leads to the economy exploding, infinite growth, or stagnating, zero growth. The economy is balanced precariously, like an egg standing on its sharp end. Any tiny push sends it tumbling. Context. The term is most famously used in criticism of the Harrod-Dummer growth model, a precursor to Solo, and certain early endogenous growth models. Harrod-Dummer. The model showed that sustained, full employment growth requires the actual growth rate to exactly match the warranted growth rate. If the actual rate is even slightly different, the economy spirals into either perpetual boom or depression. This is the classic knife edge instability. Early endogenous growth, e.g., AK model, models that assume constant returns to the accumulable factor, i.e., F, K, does not diminish to zero, violating Inada condition 5, predict sustained, non-zero per capita growth. However, this result is a knife edge case. If the returns are only slightly decreasing, as is typical in solo, growth converges to zero. If the returns are slightly increasing, growth explodes to infinity. The condition for sustainable growth is exactly constant returns, which is fragile. 3. Steady state growth. Explanation. The steady state, or balanced growth path, is a state in an economic growth model, such as the solo model, where the key variables of the economy grow at a constant, stable, and long-run rate. Crucially, the capital to effective worker ratio, K, and the output to effective worker ratio, Y, are constant, not changing. This means that while per capita variables might be growing due to technological progress, the ratios driving the accumulation process have stabilized. Steady-state growth rates in the solo model, with technology, if technology, A, grows at rate G, and labor, L, grows at rate N. Variable. Long-run steady-state growth rate. Capital per effective worker, Math BF, K caret asterisk. 0% constant, output per effective worker, Math BF, Y caret asterisk. 0% constant, output per worker, Math BF, YL, G, the rate of technological progress, total aggregate output, Math BF, Y, N plus G, growth of labor plus technology, suitable example. Consider two countries, country A and country B, that have the same production technology, savings rate, population growth, and depreciation rate. This means they share the same, unique steady state, Math BF, K caret asterisk. Country A, rich, has a current capital stock above K caret asterisk, e.g., after a temporary investment surge. In this case, the actual investment curve, SF, K, is below the break-even line, meaning new investment is not enough to cover the capital lost to depreciation and population, technology growth. The capital per effective worker ratio, K, will fall over time until it reaches the stable K caret asterisk. The economy's temporary growth rate will be negative. Country B, poor, has a current capital stock below K caret asterisk, e.g., after a war. Here, the actual investment curve is above the break-even line, meaning new investment is more than enough to cover the required break-even investment. The capital per effective worker ratio, K, will rise rapidly over time until it reaches the stable K caret asterisk. The economy's temporary growth rate will be high. The long-run result, both countries will eventually converge to the same steady state K caret asterisk. Once there, their capital per worker and output per worker will grow only at the constant rate of technological progress, G, illustrating the concept of conditional convergence.